My friends, welcome to another episode of the Nuclear Heatwave Wrestling Podcast, brought to you by Mafia Sports Report. I, as always, am Dr. Love, and of course, we got my brother over here. We've got Sauce Brunson, baby.
Yo,
Yep. Oh yeah, as always, baby. But as with every week, it seems we do have wrestling, and we're here to give it to you. You know, always a fun time. But it looks like, well, of course, we already got a chat here, and let's see. It is we got CBM in the house. What's up, buddy? Thanks, guys. Now, does anybody have any Adderall? Because I fear for my life whenever there's a backstage scuffle. Isn't that funny how we just get backstage? Like they have the media scrums, but now we get media, backstage scrums, apparently, and scuffles. Oh, gosh. Every week I feel like there's been a off-air incident or some kind of incident in general about, this or that or whatnot. Oh, my gosh.
yeah, I heard recently. Apparently, this week has been Edge and Adam Copeland and Mr. Ricky Stocks.
Which I think is funny because if Adam Copeland, if he really is getting upset or insensitive, like he's upset about something that he said, like really, like out of all the stuff that's been said over the years, now you're supposedly upset about it here in AEW. Come on, like it is what it is, but I don't know. I wasn't there, so yeah. I'll tell you right now, if he said something about my woman and we're not in a wrestling storyline, that'd get me mad. I'd be mad about it because I defend her, but it's different. She's a wrestler. She could kick anybody's ass, guy-wise when it comes to her.
So apparently, apparently they were taking jabs off script. That's what really caused it.
There you go. Okay, all right, and that's hard to say because if you're not there, obviously you kind of talk to each other about what you're going to say. Sometimes that stuff does go off script or ad-libbed. So it really, it kind of just depends on what they agreed to, at that point. Does have, we got another one from CBM. I'm worried that Stephen A. Smith has jinxed the Lions by stating that they're the number one team in the NFC. Oh, God.
A whole lot of football left. Let's hit the brakes. Let's just slow it down.
Yeah, I know.
As a Lions fan, we've been through the song and dance many times.
Oh my God! And then we got D-Town guy in the house. What's up, man?
Yo.
Always good seeing you. Headed CBM, kind of piggybacking off what we're saying about Mr. Copeland. Considering the leader, Matt Hardy, Edge business, Edge should shut his trap. Yeah, to this day, I still think it's crazy that I even made it on air because as fans, we were not aware of this. Not until after he was over. Matt Hardy was gone. I sure wasn't. I just thought, oh, this is a good storyline. This is a good, South Park even made fun of it during their very, very great episode about WWE wrestling and the storylines and not real wrestling. Everyone should watch it. Just saying. If you're a wrestling fan or not, you should watch it. But it's like, it's hard to say. I'm not there. You're not there. But we're also getting the second, third-hand dirt sheets about someone being upset about it. So it's kind of hard to say at this point. Every media scrum, every actual incident, someone said something that may hurt your feelings. I mean, I don't know.
All I'm saying is, if we go keep that, if we're gonna talk about Phil going through these motions, we got to keep that same energy. Everybody else got to get that same treatment.
Well, you made a good point there, Sauce, about Mr. Brooks, because for a company that's dead set on saying they're not bringing him back, WWE sure as hell has been alluding to him over the past few weeks in several instances. And something happened last night on the USA Network's official Twitter page. I believe it's Twitter or X page, whatever social media. Their official page had a picture and it said of Raw, and it said, best in the world. And it was like a clip of Raw, Shinsuke Nakamura doing the GTS against Seth Rollins at the end of the show. Now, a lot of people know that obviously, uh, what's his name? Hideo Itami. He's the creator of the GTS. We know that.
Right.
But still, the fact that he did this now, they've referenced quotes that CM Punks have said in the past, and just in the past couple of weeks. I don't want it to happen. I just think it's funny. I don't know if it's just a big troll. I don't know if they're just trolling Mr. Brooks at this point. But now that Endeavor's in charge, all hands are up at this point. We don't know. Endeavor could stay here tomorrow and say, we really like that Philly Brooks guy. He wasn't good in the UFC, but he was in UFC, and we can market that. We can market that he was in both. There we go.
That Philly Brooks.
Philly Brooks, yeah. There you. Oh gosh. It's funny. There you go. They could sell a sandwich there in Philadelphia called the Philly Brooks. It's full of tears and regret. So I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, just had to kind of say that because, like I said, that kind of just came out yesterday. But that's not what we're talking about today. We don't really talk about WWE. We talk about NXT. We talk about New Japan. We talk about a lot of wrestling here. And AEW, of course, Ring of Honor. But we kind of always, when it came to Impact Wrestling, which has kind of settled in its kind of like little home. It's small home, but over the past, 2 or 3 years, they've definitely they've kind of found their own niche now. As for someone myself has watched it when it was in its heyday, in the original days of NWA TNA, when they had the NWA kind of rights and license, it was good wrestling. It came out right a year after the buyout of WCW in 2002. And then it kind of went through a lot. Good, bad, good, very bad. And then it kind of got rebranded and rebooted several times. But now it's kind of found its own niche. Smaller venues, they know that they're not going to sell big venues. That's fine. But they've been doing pretty good wrestling. They have been doing some good wrestling over the past few years. And they have their perennial show. I guess we'd call their WrestleMania of sorts. The Bound for Glory show. This would be their 19th Bound for Glory. So
good for them.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's what we're here to. We're here to kind of give you a little preview of this show. And
or as I call it, wrestling's redheaded stepchild.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and Heath Slater was there, so that works for it. That really does.
Listen, the man got kids.
He's got kids. I always wanted that shirt. He had that shirt that says like "I got kids," and it's like, could you imagine like little kids? I just want to see a picture of like little kids buying that shirt, like "I got kids." Like they don't get it. They like don't understand the shirt.
Well, as kids, there was a lot of stuff going on in the world we didn't understand that was floating over our heads. We was recently this is kind of off topic, but we were talking. I was watching the BET Hip Hop Awards the other day, and they had a 3-part series on a popular show called Rap City. So me and a couple of friends were sitting there watching it, and me as a big, as a hip hop fan, of course, I had to watch it. But they were talking. Somehow we got on the subject of talking about like stuff going over our heads, and there was a lot of stuff being said back then that definitely went over our heads. That we had no idea what was going on, but that's besides the point.
Well, yeah, of course. No, but that's always kind of the fun thing about that too, to kind of reminisce on that. But yeah, just like right here, CBM, who we watched a lot of stuff together, so he knows that's why this is going to be a fun show. Look, we had the Flying Elvises to Serotonin, electrified cage that barely worked, and the lights in the arena would flash on and off, which would make no sense at all. Devon Dudley grabbing it, he's freaking out like it looks like from Jurassic Park grabbing the damn cage, electrified cage.
Listen. Devon Dudley had the best sales. Okay, especially when anytime he fell off the top of a ladder. That man, I say you would have thought that man had Parkinson's. The way that man was shaking.
He always did the good shake. He didn't flop, but he just kind of like ah.
Like I said, you would have thought that man would have Parkinson's or something. The way that man was just shaking all over the ring.
Oh my gosh, the Team 3D, and then Mr. Anderson calling for the microphone and never getting it, which we talked about briefly before. That absolutely happened on multiple occasions. He'd ask for it and they just wouldn't drop it. He'd ask for it again, they'd drop it without him asking. Oh God, that was just such bad quality. But anyways, we do have the preview for the show so far. They do have their weekly shows on Thursdays, so if they add anything after, that's on them. So, but we do the first match we're going to kind of preview here would be the Monsters Ball match. Yeah, obviously a Monsters Ball match made famous by Abyss, who actually works with WWE. He's actually a producer with WWE now. He's been here for a while, actually, but it's weird to think that he's a producer. But yes, the Monsters Ball match is the Fatal 4-Way. So you have Moose, or I'm sorry, Big Rick. If you ever watch Lucha Underground, to like one person that watches this that watched Lucha Underground, you know who you are. Maybe two. Steve Macklin, Rhino, and PCO. So, and again, Monsters Ball, let's talk about Monsters Ball here.
Not to be confused with that movie that came out 20 years ago with Halle Berry.
Correct. Yeah, we're not talking about, no, not that Monsters Ball. So Monsters Ball, what's funny is I have this up here and then like everything just disappeared off my screen because I was looking at like Monsters Ball in general. And of course it just went away here. So now I'm looking this back up to see exactly what I was when it came to the Monsters Ball type match. Because what's funny is I just no, not. It's funny, yeah. Monsters Ball, not the Halle Berry movie. Thank you for oh my God, how funny. But there we go. Okay, so the Monsters Ball match, made famous by Abyss. So again, there's always been different. It's kind of changed over the years, but apparently victory can be achieved by pinfall or submission, and it is let's see. There's no elimination. It's just first, kind of like Fatal 4-Way. First person wins, and let's see if there's been any specific reasons here. So it doesn't really say anything specific. It just really says the main point of the match is it's a hardcore match, stipulation induced. At one point, So this is actually a true story. So they don't do this anymore. If they reference this, I'm gonna laugh. Apparently, in the original Monsters Ball, they would sequester the wrestlers for 24 hours with no food and no water to get them in fighting. To get them in like a fighting kind of desperation shape. And I'm like, are you serious? Are we serious? What the hell? Really? But no, it's just a hardcore match. I mean, that's basically all it is, afterwards. And it's like, really, guys, that's all it is. And then of course we got CBM. Ezekiel Jackson was Big Rick. Oh my God, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here thinking it was Moose. Oh, see, another thing to remember. The last ECW champion, Ezekiel Jackson.
Hey, listen. ECW, regardless how you feel about WWE taking over, those championships still count.
They count.
The great titles still count.
I might sound disingenuous, but no, we got that right at trivia. I'll tell you that for sure. The question, I was like, I knew it right off the bat. Let's go. Because guess what? Nobody beats us in trivia, right, Sauce? Nobody.
Damn right.
We got this. But so we have the CBM says Monsters Ball is a great movie. Well, there we go. See, we talk about that too.
For all the reasons we can't talk about on this podcast right now.
I know. Billy Bob Thornton, great actor. He's in that too.
That man's a national treasure. I want to be like him when I grow up.
And then CBM was, we were right. This 24-hour sequestration. That was the original Monsters Ball match. I mean, let's bring it back. Come on, No. All right, we'll get back to this. So basically, it's a hardcore match, between these four guys, and yeah, this is going to be like 10 minutes of just these guys beating the holy hell out of each other. Honestly, I like Rhino. Obviously, the hometown guy, Rhino. I've always been a big fan of him. I'm going to go for Rhino for this match. He doesn't really need the win because he's the big veteran in this match. They've been pushing Moose. Moose over the past couple of years, TNA's found his home there with Impact and everything. But honestly, I'm going with Rhino. I'm going Rhino, but he probably won't win. But I'm still saying Rhino. So.
I'm not always rant about how Tony Khan has terrible timing with his Ring of Honor pay-per-views. But whoever decided to put this on the same night as Michigan versus Michigan State, I just want to let you know, whoever works at Impact, I'm just going to let you know, count your days.
Which is actually pretty interesting because a lot of their shows, Impact, have been on Fridays or some Sundays. So it's kind of weird that they didn't do this show
on a Sunday.
Yeah, like it seemed really odd out of all of them. That's why when I had to check the data on it. But don't you worry. We'll be doing dual screen situation for this. We'll be having a dual screen situation.
Because of pro wrestling, I had to I'm going to unfortunately miss out on some Michigan State parties. So all I'm saying is, whoever's the main booker, let's say, I'm sorry, Scott D'Amore, this card better be worth it, okay? I just want to let you know that, or I'm just letting you know, as far as because if this card ends up being a dud, I'm just saying, I'll tell you what, count your days too, you coward.
You're about to, you heard that right. You heard that right there, Scott D'Amore. There's a challenge coming out for you. So. Oh man, and then of course CBM here with Steve Macklin has really grown as a wrestler since his Impact World title reign. Very underrated. Yeah, so he is a former champion, and that's during that time where they kind of started shifting Impact to what they are now, knowing that there are smaller crowds, kind of like tightening the entire kind of group itself as opposed to like AEW that has such a bloated roster with a bunch of people that they're not utilizing. Impact will have a small roster and then utilize it better. So even though they are definitely still lower, the redheaded stepchild, they're still there and there's still some good matches to be seen. It's just, trust me, I watched it in the bad days too. It's just not good, but they're still trying. But it looks like we're both going with animals for this winter. I'm going with Rhino, and Sauce going with Moose.
Yes, sir.
Battle of the Beast. There we go. Pat and Penny, Battle of the Beast. There we go. And I'm not going to lie, that'd be a great match if these guys had a good feud right there. There you go. Scott D'Amore, I want those royalties. Thank you very much. Sauce deserves them too for secondary royalties. What's funny is years ago, I met Scott D'Amore at a very low budget indie show for MXPW. So it was basically just he's Border City Wrestling, which is still a thing now. He basically is working with Impact with it, and he had a lot of the guys from Border City, and he was like smaller guy. He wasn't really big in the wrestling world, but I met him, talked with him for like over an hour just about wrestling in general. It was really cool. I mean, we're talking also about 20 years ago or so when about 20 years ago. Yeah. And it was pretty cool. I met a lot of guys. I met Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, a few other guys that are bigger guys now, or they fizzled out. So that was kind of cool time. But all right, we do have let's see. Oh, no, go back. I say go back. There you go. So we do have what's called the and the next thing on here, the excuse me, the Collier Shot Gauntlet match, which I had to look this up too, because Impact is very they're very good or bad, if you want to put it that way, about their gimmick matches. Sometimes they can have a match that makes sense. Ultimate X, that's a really cool idea, where you have the ropes crisscrossed, and then you have the X title in the middle, and you literally have to like climb to get it. You can't like use a ladder to like just get in the middle. You have to like get it and then climb on the rope to get it. Very cool. But then you have a reverse battle royal that they had years ago, where Sauce, it's exactly like you think. The last person to get into the ring is like the loser, basically. Yeah. So think of like musical chairs. You know, you have the musical chairs and the last one to get chair. That's it.
Hello? So I think we lost you. Hello? So we having a little bit of technical difficulty, y'all. Hey Doc, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, so you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Okay. Bear with us for a moment, guys, while Doc gets this all squared away.
Okay. Are we back? We're back, baby. Back, baby. Do you hear me pretty good? Okay.
Yeah, I got it. I said we good.
I'm telling you something. Last week, my light problem was having an issue, and now that's a whole thing. This light has been on all day. I turned it on. It was working. I can't turn it off now. So I don't know what that's about. Now the mic just went out. So there you go. So yeah, just again, let me know next time if you see me talking and you're like, what's up?
Yeah, that's what I was looking. I'm like, wait a minute, something's off.
No, we're good. We're back, baby. We're back. But so anyways, what we're talking about is the gauntlet style match. It's a 20-person intergender gauntlet match. So yeah, and the winner gets a future title shot within a year at any time. So it's basically Money in the Bank, but you get a trophy too, randomly. You randomly get a trophy for some reason. And so right now there's only a few people officially in it, and I'm gonna list you the people that are officially in this gauntlet match. We have Jake something, big guy in Indies, Dirty Dango, who
that's my pick already.
Sounds familiar? Yeah, we got Fandango in the house. Champagne Singh, because whatever. Eric Young, the EY,
who's been around since forever.
The returning Jordan Grace back in Impact Wrestling after like leaving and now coming. Now she's back, so she's back.
Wasn't she like doing her bodybuilding competitions?
She was, and now she's back. So yeah, don't know what that's about. Brian Myers, yeah.
Well, they said. Well, I was doing a little bit of reading while you were going over it. I guess men and women could partake in this match. So
yes, exactly. It's an intergender match. So, so it looks like like I said, Brian Myers is there, and then we have Shira, who of course is Mahabali Shira. God, yeah, my God, he's terrible, guys. He's so terrible. And then we have Kylene King and Jody Threat, and then for absolutely no reason, Bully Ray's on this match. For no reason. This is a guy who doesn't need to be in a match like this. They probably asked, well, hey, we're short on people. Can you help us out? So apparently that happened. Who knows? And of course, CBM comes in here. Yeah, the gauntlet match will be won with a heart punch by Champagne Canyon Singh. Oh my God. No. So he's talking about there was an old battle royal that happened in Impact Wrestling where the winner was going to win a world title shot. And literally it was Tyrus, the former Brodus Clay, when he won with a heart punch that barely looked like he touched him. He was like, ugh. And he was already the bodyguard of EC3, who was the champion. So it didn't matter. He did like the lay down of doom. He just let him pin. It was so stupid. And of course, Yeah, CBM with Brian Myers couldn't be lamer. Still wearing Mets colors because he is the quote Prince of New York. He does wear them. He looks worse than like the ball boy for him. The ball boy could tell him to shut up and be like, okay, sorry guys. When the only thing that gets Brian Myers over is the fact that he had the longest losing streak ever. Well, probably not ever, but in modern time. Then that tells you something if that's what's going to get you over. So it is what it is. I can't say too much about it because that's Matt Cardano's boy, and I don't want the Indie Taker, the god of Indies, to come after me. But I'm just saying. So I got to make sure I don't say too much bad stuff about Mr. Myers. So, but we're gonna move on for this show because it's gonna turn funny very quick. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So we do have the tag team match for the Impact Women's Tag Team titles, where you have the champions, which is MK Ultra, Killer Kelly, and Masha Slamovich, versus Deonna Purrazzo and Tasha Steelz. Now, I'm not gonna lie. If anybody's ever watched anything with Masha Slamovich, you should. She's badass.
She was a recent GCW champion.
She was GCW champion, and there's their difference. Like let's talk about that for a second. When she was GCW champion, it felt right because she was a badass that could beat most of these people. When they made back in 2020, when Tessa Blanchard was given the championship in Impact Wrestling,
burning all her bridges.
Yeah, basically, she already had a bad attitude backstage. She refused to do any wrestling promos via Zoom and online because of the COVID. So they stripped her of the title, and that's where that whole Real World's title became a thing where Moose became the real champion with the old belt. But that was more entertaining than Tessa Blanchard sitting at home doing nothing and acting like a prissy bitch, So
quick question, Doc. Is Tessa, is she related to the famous horseman, Mr. Tony Blanchard?
Tony Blanchard? Absolutely. That's absolutely.
So that is his daughter.
Yep.
Okay, I thought so.
Oh, yeah, because she, CBM always for the win. So, yeah, we talked about that briefly last week, didn't we? CBM, they made Tessa champion because she likes taking dumps for her fans. Dumps on her fans, for her fans, however way you want to interpret that, guys. So, oh my God. But yes, Tully Blanchard, the famous Tully Blanchard, that is her daughter, and she is a good wrestler, but she just started getting a bad reputation backstage, and it's like, you're doing the wrong thing, because if she had just played, I don't want to say play nice, you're a rookie, WWE would have picked you up in a second. They would have picked you up in a second. It's insane. But it's almost like, well, okay, now we don't need you. Now, if Impact Wrestling didn't even need you, there's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. If Impact,
that's like you get fired from the FBI.
Yep.
And no, I didn't even take that back. That's like you get fired from being a security guard at Toys R Us and wonder why the FBI or the CIA didn't call you.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, let's just call it for what it is.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, too, she hasn't even done anything in AEW. I think she was at the first show, the pre-AEW show, the All In, pre-AEW. I thought she was at that show, but even she didn't sign with AEW, so that's something. And CBM hit it on the head right here. Deonna Purrazzo hates Tessa. They were shooting on each other last time they were in the ring together. Hey, you know what? I'd see that. I'd watch that and see, because I like Deonna Purrazzo. I'm a fan of hers as well. So, which, case in point, if anybody wants to talk about women's wrestling, they should never trash Impact Wrestling ever. I mean, every company that has a lull and has bad women's wrestlers, but not when it came to Impact. There was the bad, but the good outweighed the bad, rightfully so. I mean, Sauce, you've watched some Impact TNA women's wrestling. I know that. So
yeah, even though I'm not as well versed as you, Doc, but when I do watch, I'll watch a few matches here and there because the only person at the time that really kind of kept me in there besides Awesome Kong, well, I would like go back and forth would be obviously Gail Kim. I'll watch some of her work, and then ODB. So she was always found her intriguing as well.
Oh yeah. I was always a fan of like her character and everything. Awesome Kong was badass, just and like Victoria when she came there, she kind of did her own thing there for a bit. Because again, you had these veterans coming there. And Gail Kim, it helped her the most. She just couldn't like when the WWE style at that point, it started to move away from the really great wrestling of like Jazz, Victoria, Trish Stratus, Mickie James. Gail Kim at that point, it started going back to the diva-esque style, so it just didn't gel well. So people remember her from some botched matches on Raw and SmackDown, but goes to Impact TNA, and you're not seeing that kind of problem. Her thing was that she's small. They did book some weird matches, like there was a match. I can't even make this one up. It was one of Awesome Kong's last matches, and it was Awesome Kong versus Gail Kim. I want to say it was in, I'm just going to throw it out on 15. Can't remember exactly when it was, but it was like, if you see Gail Kim, she's small. She's petite Asian woman, and Awesome Kong she's thick. She's muscular. They had Awesome Kong do like a middle rope splash on her, like killed her. Gail Kim kicks out. She got kicks out. And this is like end of the match type situation. It's like one of those like, and then at the end, then Gail Kim wins with like something, eat the feet or a move that doesn't look good on a big person because it doesn't look like it hurts them. And I'm like, you just had her get crushed at a splash, like completely crushed, but you didn't have her lose like that. That's some Cena shit right there. Like but Robert Irvine might have been in the audience, famous chef, her husband. But we do have a couple things here. I think he's referring CBM. I think referring to the Deonna Purrazzo, I'm sorry, Tessa Blanchard, because the AEW women revolted and refused to allow her in the locker room. I do vaguely remember hearing something about them being not happy about Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah, she definitely wasn't about to step foot in the E.
No. And then
she was gonna be because as them being a publicly traded company, Connecticut was those guys over in Connecticut was not about to deal with that PR nightmare.
No. Then we have CBM with Victoria Tara, as she was in Impact, had a MILF gimmick with the Young Bucks. Oh yeah, excuse me, Generation Me, Max and Jeremy Buck. Legitimately, Impact Wrestling had the Young Bucks, renamed them as Generation Me, and their names were Max and Jeremy Buck. I mean, this is something you can't even make up. This is almost like this is a joke name you'd see in a video game or something. No, Impact Wrestling had these guys for like a very short time. So talk about when wasted opportunity happens. It's right there.
Hindsight is always 2020.
Of course it is.
I mean, prime example, studying Steve Austin.
Oh yeah.
So not to get all sidetracked, but imagine let's just say wrestling. What if? Imagine if they figured out the Stone Cold character while he was still at WCW. So just imagine Stone Cold versus NWO like every week.
Oh my gosh! Hey, you know what? And that might have happened too. I could totally have seen that. But here's what's funny. Since we're talking about these shows and with CBM bringing up Generation Me, of course. What's funny is one thing I like to collect is I definitely like to collect some old pay-per-views on DVD. Twin pack of, let's see, what is that? Victory Road 2010, No Surrender 2010. Oh, I don't know. Let's talk about the last match, quote unquote, of Macho Man Randy Savage. Turning Point, TNA, Turning Point, 2004, right there. This is such a partial dumpster fire. There's some good matches on here. And then, of course, we have the very infamous Victory Road 2011.
Oh,
right
is that
here.
the Jeff Hardy?
Yes, it is. I have it right here in my hand.
Oh.
I have a
I've seen it on YouTube in its entirety multiple times, but the fact that you have it is great.
I know. Oh, it's burning. It's burning. It's burning my hand. Oh gosh, it's burning. It's burning. So, anyways, but
You mean your hand went numb and limp?
it really did. But the reason why I mentioned that is because Generation Me actually had a match on one of these shows, and of course I'm looking on here and I can't even find it now. Let's see before I put this away. Oh, yep, right there. At No Surrender 2011. I'm sorry, 2010. You had Generation Me versus the Motor City Machine Guns for the tag team titles then. So that tells you something. But we got Chad Smith in the house.
Hey,
Yeah.
Chatty too baddie.
What's going on, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, full circle, baby. Full circle. There we go.
All right, here you guys go.
Here we go. Yep. Oh my god. And then of course I got CBM excited. Oh, it's got DVD time. And then RVD versus Mr. Anderson. Yep. Yes. Hey, he was better than he is now. RVD looks rough, man. And then CBM. Yep, the crowd went restart the match, and the other half said no.
I wish I would be a wrestler, and some crowd say restart the match. I'll just stop it. I will pull an Austin Aries and stop what I'm doing and just leave the ring.
There we go. And then
play with me if y'all want to.
Chad Smith, yep, you know. There we go. If you know, you know. That's what it matters. So.
Something weird happened. Oh my! Wow, that's weird. You know, something just.
Oh, this was America. I thought this. Oh, I moved over here. Oh, my stomach. Oh, wow, I'm moving real quick, back and forth. So, anyways, let's get back on topic here. Who do you got for this women's match, man?
Oh, MK Ultra.
MK Ultra. Not gonna lie, I'd have to say the same thing. They won the titles at the last big show. They deserved them. So yeah, I say they gotta win. It's nice seeing Deonna Purrazzo back, but I'd rather see her in singles competition. So we'll say that. Moving on, we do have for the Impact Tag Team Championship, and this is the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zach Wentz versus ABC, Ace Austin, Chris Bay from the Bullet Club, baby. Let's go.
I'm not gonna lie, Doc. When I first saw this card, I read that as Radicals. I was like, wait, what? That's
funny. That is so funny because I'm not gonna lie. Like the first time I ever saw like the Rascals name, I was like, are they brought like the Radicals? The Z is what gets you, right? Like when you see the Radicals. What?
I said, let's go.
Oh my gosh, that's so yeah. That's so. You got A, B, C, and these guys come from Bullet Club. They're awesome. That's the Bullet Club ABC, or what is that usually referred to. This actually is also Chris Bay's Feast or Fired match. So as let's run a real quick thing, talk about Feast or Fired. So because again, Sauce, you don't watch a lot of Impact, so we're gonna have to just kind of give you this. Feast or Fired basically is a match that's similar. It's like a ladder match where you have 4 briefcases on 4 poles. I just laugh because it's just so overbooked. And fatal 4-way match rules, and each one has to get one of them. What's it called? Briefcases. One has a title match for the world title. One has a X Division title match. One has a tag team title match, and the other one says you're fired. And what happened was Impact would legitimately fire you if you got that one. Legitimately. Wasn't a joke. Wasn't a book. It wasn't like a smart mark marking. You were fired. I mean, what the hell? What, I know, right? But apparently Chris Bay won and the tag team title match, and now this is him cashing in for it. So they basically took Money in the Bank and said, well, guys, it would be better if there's 4 briefcases now for Money in the Bank.
But for every X Division concept they come up with, they come up with like eight other ideas that make you scratch your head.
It makes you hit your head on the table is more like it. But yeah, you're right.
You mean it makes you hit your head on the hardest part of the ring?
I'm gonna cry. Okay, so we got CBM here. He's got a good opinion here. Trey Miguel will be the next one to make it WWE. He is on the rise, and he is a pretty good wrestler, and that's where you see a lot of this kind of stuff on the lower cards of these Impact shows. He's a good wrestler though. So this match could be a match to steal, maybe not steal the whole night, but it's going to be one of those top tier matches of this pay-per-view. So just we'll just have to wait and see, but I'm booking that one to be. And I'm actually going to go with because right now the champions are the Rascals. Now I can't not say it now. I'm actually going to go with ABC. ABC. Let's go. Gotcha. My Bullet Club. Bullet Club strong, hard and strong. Come on, Oh, you don't know, so it's okay though. It's okay. I'm just kidding. So now we move on to our next match here, where I'm actually pretty excited for this match. Just hopefully, and hopefully they kind of go all out for it. But it's the Impact Knockouts Championship, where it's the champion Trinity, the former Naomi, versus returning Mickie James for the championship. And I'm telling you, this could go either way. Honestly, your Trinity won the championship. In my opinion, I didn't like she won it so quick. I just, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really.
That's Impact logic. Bring a new person in, and then instead of them working their way up the ladder, bring them in right away, have them win the belt. That's been a thing. That's been a thing since 2003.
That's true. No, you're right. And
who was it that won the TNA? Who was it that won the championship day one? Wasn't it Penta?
Oh yeah. Well, he won it, but then lost the belt like that next taping. So
right. But come in day one and win the championship.
Del Rio technically did the same thing, Alberto El Patron, but then he dropped the belt, and there was a whole thing about that, and then he started beating on Paige, and that was a different thing, so they let him go. But he did the same thing. That's actually a good point. So, but as for this match, Mickie James dropped the belt, the Knockouts Championship, because she was injured earlier this year, and it's nice seeing that she's back, because she kind of inferred that she might have been retiring, because she's at that point where she doesn't need to wrestle much anymore, but she's still in great shape. She looks great. Always been one of my favorites from WWE, and when she went to Impact, kind of had a resurgence there. Her and her husband Nick Aldis, who now is currently on WWE on SmackDown as the general manager. So 2 things could happen. One, Trinity could win this match. I'm sorry, Mickie James could win this match, and they can go on to have a nice feud. Or Trinity win this match, Mickie James leaves. Maybe Mickie James goes back to WWE. Because she went to WWE just a handful of years ago. Had a nice little feud there with working with Alexa Bliss and stuff.
Well, remember she came back and her return match was against NXT Asuka.
Exactly. Oh yeah, banger. They did. And she was obviously the big thing at Royal Rumble last year, where she showed up in the Royal Rumble as the Impact Knockouts champion. Still to this day, I still had a little goosebumps about it, because she had the belt with her. They did call her just the Impact Women's Champion. I don't care. People were mad that they didn't say Knockouts. I said, you're lucky they even said that.
You're even lucky that she even showed that belt on the other promotion.
Right? So
right. And then they thanked her by sending her stuff in a garbage bag via UPS.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the big hurtful thing there. But now where it's Triple H in charge, there's maybe a different story about it.
Oh yeah.
So the match itself should be a banger. I'm excited to see it. I'm gonna go. I'm going Mickey James. I think Mickey James. If they did right, you could have a sweet feud, a little bit back and forth type situation, and kind of go from there. But I'm gonna say Mickey James. And looks like CBM caught me here. Who does Dr. Love want to win the gauntlet match?
Yeah, I meant to bring that up. I forgot.
Oh gosh. Well, maybe all of us as the fans can be the winner, so the match will go so quickly. No, I'm gonna put question mark because there's 20 people in the match, and I didn't name 20 people, so someone I didn't name will win. So that's the question mark because I don't think any of those guys are gonna win. But of course, with my fact checking, but we do have. But Alberto El Patron won the Global Force belt first, then invested in Global Force Gold before unifying the Impact and Global Force title at Slammiversary 2017. And this is absolutely true. So at that point, they had Global Force Wrestling, which was going to be its own entity, but then they were going to be Impact. Then they were two separate things. And then, yes, Jeff Jarrett sold Global Force Gold. This is all a real story. I wish this could be made into a documentary, honestly. Like, you have Dark Side of the Ring, but then you have stories that aren't too dark. I want those. I want, like, a show that's, like, not too dark side of the ring. Like, something that's, like, not super dark, but still very interesting, to say the least.
Listen, when it comes to Dark Side of the Ring, I'm already excited for 2 episodes. The first one, the Scrum Brawl.
Oh, yeah.
And then the 2-parter episode, which is going to be when they fire CM Punk.
Yep.
From AEW.
Yeah.
And then as far as a recent episode, then 20 years later, we go Dark Side of the Ring. We're also going to get Cody Rhodes, how he took all the AEW booking with him.
Yep. That's a good way to put it. Took his belt, his weightlifter strap, and left, man. Just saying. He took his... Oh, my God. Or he took the scars that he took from the flaming table for nothing. He took that... I still get mad at this day. He took that spot for nothing, for fans that were booing him. For fans that were booing him and throwing stuff at him. Like, come on. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But, because they wanted him to just turn heel.
I know. But, so let's see. So Sauce, you got Trinity, and I got Mickey James. Okay. This could be the match of the night right here. So, but it's hard because there's some good matches. But moving on, we do have the X Division Championship where you have one part of the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin versus Kenta. Now, this is going to be a good match. Kenta always hold his own, New Japan Wrestling. I just don't like. This kind of is a little different for me because I look at it like this. I say, like, Kenta doesn't need the belt, but neither does Sabin. Like, Sabin doesn't need that belt. When he became champion, really the only reason why is because him and Alex Shelley stood tall as champions, as your world Next Division champion. So they wanted to kind of showcase that, and I get that. But Sabin had already won the belt several times. Like, he doesn't need the belt anymore. So I'm back and forth on it. But if I really had to kind of put it down, I'm changing my mind right now. I think Kenta's going to come out and take the win on this. I think Kenta is going to come out.
That's what I want to hear. I want to hear you pick it, be proud, and say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest. There we go. We can make those choices. So, but yeah, I think Kenta's going to win. I think it's going to be another. Here's the problem: you got a lot of matches right in a row, so the tag team title match is going to be thrown up in there somewhere. Like, we got some real good bangers right here, and if you put them in a row, there could be possibly 4 in a row, 3 in a row. That women's tag team title match will either be shifted up into the card. The Rascals is gonna have to be a buffer near the end of the show because you're gonna get a lot of stuff. People are gonna be like too tired to cheer anymore, or too tired, like that. But who do you got in this match?
Oh, I'm saying Saban only because as a booker, like you said, he's won the belt multiple times. This might be one of those matches where they really don't have nobody else they can think of right away to put the X Division belt on. So they just have it, they just have him defend it just for the sake of defending it. At least just give somebody, at least have somebody a challenger for him. Just as far as to make him look good, and as far as just for the sake of just having an X Division match.
Yeah,
That's the way I see it as a booker.
I could see that too. I mean, they definitely needed to have something on the card for the X Division, and I mean, and Kenta is he's a good choice. He's a good choice, and they can put on a very good match. It'll probably only be about 12-minute match, maybe 14 minutes, just based off of how much time they're going to give them for the other matches. But it'll still be a very entertaining 12-14-minute match. I may have wanted maybe a stipulation, like a regular stipulation, not a crazy, not Impact. Don't go crazy, but like a regular one. No penalty box match. No. Stop it. Which, by the way, wasn't technically Impact. That was in WCW first. So that tells you something, okay? Right near the end. So they had the penalty box match first because of Team Canada and, of course, all this stuff. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. No, the nightmares. The nightmares are coming back from all King of the Mountain matches, Sauce. Oh, no. Oh, the fisherman's yard match. Oh no, the Dudley Boys. Oh God, sorry.
Jeff Hardy showing up to work when he should have used his PTO.
Oh God. And then I accidentally put in PCO instead of PTO, and now he comes and kicks my ass at house. It's like no PTO. I said PTO.
Oh, he comes in your door like Sting did that one kid in that wrestling commercial.
Such a great commercial. He beats the crap out of that kid. He's like, yeah.
He threw that kid across the fireplace. I was like, whoa.
I know. We all wanted that too. Oh, and CBM, don't worry. I already brought up the reverse battle royal. Ask Sauce here. He knows. I can't do it. Oh gosh, but. So that's my take. I think Kenta will win. I think they're going to kind of have a little working thing with New Japan there for a bit. It'd be cool to see because now it's October. Obviously, October, November, December, January, first week of January is Wrestle Kingdom. Right now, you could start setting up for stuff for it, and it'd be cool to have if you have your X Division champion wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom. That would be kind of cool to see,
Book it, Doc.
There's definitely precedent for it, so book it. Let's book it,
Doc.
Okay. I like it. So let's move on with our matches here. We do have. I think I missed. Nope, I got it right here. All right, so we do have the. Thank you very much. The Will Ospreay versus Speedball Mike Bailey match, whether he's being called Speedball still or not, I don't know. But I always liked this Speedball Mike Bailey. This match was kind of funny because I want to say it was at least 2 months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. There was no matches announced yet, but they announced Will Ospreay was going to be at the show. They were like, Will Ospreay is going to be at Bound for Glory. And they're like, okay. And they're like, yes, well, all right. They had they just want to make sure you knew he's there. And it worked because it got my attention. Oh, okay. They signed him for a one-match deal, make sure for the show because he's not going to be, he's not Impact. He's obviously doing stuff in New Japan, AEW, but it worked. And if anybody, thank you for writing that down, Sauce. If anybody would say not Ospreay, it'd be crazy. It's come on. Mike Bailey is very talented. He is a talented wrestler, but there's no way he'd beat Ospreay. There's just not a possibility.
I'm just saying this is like Michigan versus Appalachian State. Never mind. Wrong reference.
No, Michigan versus Michigan State this year and how bad Little Brother's doing this year. So,
but I mean, it's gonna be an entertaining match. But at the end of the day, there's really not much that needs to be said. These guys gonna do their thing, but come on, Ospreay's not coming to your promotion to lose.
Nope. That's a big negatory right there. So Mike Bailey's obviously put on some great matches with Josh Alexander. He's and other wrestlers too. But yeah, it's kind of weird. You almost feel like something's going to happen in this match, like someone's showing up in this match for Mike Bailey to help or whatever. I don't know. I'm not really sure on the current storylines with like Mike Bailey and stuff because Ospreay's coming in here, Aussie Open, like still the United Kingdom, U.S. New Japan champion, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see. Maybe that sets up for something towards Wrestle Kingdom if they're not doing him versus Omega again. I don't know, but they might set up for somebody else who. But yeah, so Ospreay for the win in a very good match. It's not going to be. Well, here's the thing. So it's already got Meltzer's already going to give it like 4.5 stars without it because it's Ospreay, right? So already got. But without, and the match itself will probably be a good like 4-star match. It'll probably be a good 4-star match.
Oh yeah,
but it's not going to be. I highly doubt it's going to be like anything more than 5-star. But Meltzer just loves throwing out those stars like ninja stars. Let's go. Oh, WWE, no stars for you.
I was like, let him tell it. Like, he throwing stars out there like the what's that mobile game, Fruit Ninja.
All I can think about is in South Park playing with weapons is when they threw the ninja star at Kenny and it gets him in the face and they're like, yeah.
No, I say then they got Butters in the face too.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. It was Butters they got in the face, and they dress him up like a dog. And all I can think about is like that's when it hits WWE and they're like, what? That never happens, but it should happen. Oh my God! I'll tell you right now. And then, of course, CBM, because Meltzer won't give an Impact match 5 stars, even if it was Ospreay versus Omega. Yeah, because he has a thing against Impact Wrestling. So, that's CBM. That's a great costume. That's a great costume. You could be Meltzer, and we'll make sure we'll have the mics up where it's so close to your face. It looks like you're in mom's basement, mom's basement, and they'll get you.
You got to put them in the closet. That's just like full of just paperwork.
Yep, and then again,
as soon as you open the closet door, just like files or like paper just flies out of the closet.
Yep, and then a bunch of PWIs magazines everywhere, and then I'll get a bunch of ninja stars that I'll cut out, and then just like throw them, like go to a local show, and then I kind of throw them onto the thing, and it's like who are you? I'm Meltzer, man. I'm just throwing you stars. I'm telling you, it'd be great. They throw the crepe paper and the paper, throw the stars. I'm telling you, it would work. It would work, but he also says it needs to be in the Tokyo Dome. That at least adds 1 star. Isn't that the truth? Just say it's in Japan and it's not. Say it's at like the Benihana's down the street, and then it's like, oh shit, 1 star. One's Benihana. Oh my God. And then CBM, Meltzer, 70 years old. His mom would be really old by now. Yeah, it was always the joke. If you ever watch this podcast, he literally just looks like he's in his mom's basement. And he's like in like a cell so small. And it's like, why are you like looking like this?
Is this podcast is 90 minutes talking about how much he loves Japan wrestling?
Oh, God. Yeah, Japan wrestling. Yeah, that's all he likes in Japan wrestling. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, is that what you hear for 90 minutes?
Pretty much. Yeah. And he's like he's real close. He's like, yeah, so we got, that was just, when people get mad about me not giving stars to WWE matches, if I give you 4.5 stars, that's 5 stars. That's 5 stars. I mean, just because it says 4.5, that's 5 stars. That was always his excuse. Always. He'd say, they didn't get a 5-star because 4.5 stars, 4 3/4. That basically is 5 stars.
Here's the difference. It's not 5 stars. It's 4 3/4. It's like
I agree.
You coward.
He is the epitome of a coward, man.
That's like saying that's like me being your teacher, Doc, and saying, I'm gonna give you B+, but it's really A-. But it's even though you got a B+, but it's really A-. Just tell your parents it's A-.
It's for CBM says his grammar is horrible. Much of yes and yeah knows. Well, yes are okay here with me, yeah, but I know what you mean. he probably has a bunch of but-ums too. But-um. And you know what? It's hard. I will say it is hard to talk in general to anybody. Public speaking, which in general sense, this is public speaking. I don't care what anybody says. It's the number one most feared thing in the entire United States over death. People would rather talk and die than talk in front of people. That's insane. Not me though. I like to talk. Sauce, we like to talk. But I get it. So
I dabble every once in a while.
Yeah. But okay, see, but we do have our main event here, which unfortunately, when I asked this guy to join today, he said he couldn't come today. No, he said he couldn't come today. He said that he didn't want to talk about that trash wrestling. No, just kidding. No, this guy, he had some other prior engagement, so it had nothing to do with the fact we're calling over the main event, the Impact Champion Alex Shelley versus the returning Josh Alexander, the man who's never lost the Impact Championship. He never lost it. He was injured, had to abdicate the belt, and the longest reigning Impact Champion of all time, TNA and Impact Champion of all time, Josh Alexander. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see this. I think if anybody's ever watched Josh Alexander work, he is a workhorse. This guy reminds me of like a Kurt Angle, like a younger Kurt Angle, mixed with like if Team America, yes, I'll say Team America, which is great too. Team Angle, all pushed into this one wrestler. That's how I look at Josh Alexander. Because you got to take out. You can't be as great as Angle, but you get some of the other attributes of like Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, stuff like that. Even some Chad Gable in there.
Basically, a lot of technician stuff.
Yeah, and he is. Yeah, so he's very good. I was able to watch him live here at the indie show called Clash Wrestling, and I was able to watch him there when he was actually current champion at that time. So it was really cool to see that actually. It's gonna be nice to see because obviously Alex Shelley, he was champion and he retained the title at the last show, which surprised everyone. But then Josh Alexander came out saying I'm back, made more sense. Alex Shelley always, to me, just kind of was never been a world champion material. But over the past few years, Impact had people that were questionable for being that champion. They've now kind of gotten better by solidifying that with Josh Alexander, for example, holding onto the belt for over 350 days, and then stuff like that. It's nice to see. As for this match, yeah, they're gonna give these guys 25 minutes, probably, maybe like 20 minutes. Between 20 and 25 minutes, they're gonna give these guys the wrestle. Then you're gonna see a clinic. Now, Sauce, you know what city this show's in, right? What city is this? What city is this show taking place in?
Not Detroit, but the city that's like 4 hours away from Detroit.
Yes, the show that literally how many places like over the past few months, every promotion has a show in Chicago, Illinois, baby. So yes, they're in Chicago, and of course, the second someone hears Chicago, they said, "Oh, does that mean CM Punk's coming?" I'm like, no, he's not. Like if he came, and I will tell you right now, I will make this bet with you guys. If CM Punk shows up at Bound for Glory, and he shows up in person, even if he did like a video where he's like, I'm here coming to Impact Wrestling, I'll accept that. I will drink a beer out of my slipper right here. Yes, this slipper. I will drink a beer out of this slipper. Just like that. Let's go.
And I'll be on standby when he when he can't perform on the camera afterwards. He'll be in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh,
yeah, very sick.
I know, right? So, but no, I don't see him coming. It's just crazy coincidence that all these shows are happening in Chicago, right? Like, AEW has the show, then you have this show, then Survivor Series is in Chicago. It's like, what the heck? There's more places than Chicago. We thankfully got SummerSlam But next year they're going to have like 7 more shows in Chicago.
Yep.
I think they should bring SummerSlam back because, again, for like 5 years in a row, they did it in New York. They did it in New York, the same place.
And then before New York, wasn't it L.A.?
Yeah, yes.
I want to say they did L.A. like, was it 2 or 3 years in a row?
So at that point, they already proved that it made the most money for SummerSlam, gate, merchandise, all this stuff. So let's come back now because it'd be great.
Well, it also helped too that because Detroit is right next door to Chicago, and then you also got some of the the big Ohioans that are big wrestling fans, and also it is easier, and I'm sure flights aren't that expensive. Seeing how it seems like Detroit is not necessarily a hub for airports, but it's close enough to it. So I think I think as far as travel wise, there's a lot of convenience, as far as it being in the Midwest.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a great idea for it, and we'll have to wait and see. They just announced Royal Rumble being down in Florida. So now they're going to start, once it gets closer, you'll start seeing more shows like when they're getting announced and everything. But as for this match, yeah, I think Josh Alexander, it makes the most sense for him to win, to become a 3-time Impact champion. Someone's going to come out, though. I don't think it's good. I didn't set up for a feud. I'd be really, 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 really shocked if Alex Shelley won. It would really surprise me. Unless they were trying something like weird, just kind of continue on some weird feud. They don't need to. It's really the story about returning Josh Alexander. So I hope they would just stay with that and be good. But I don't know. But it's all good. And as of for now, that's actually all the matches that are announced. They do have a show on Thursday this week. They might announce maybe one more match, maybe more people for the Battle Royal, or they're going to just keep those as surprise people. I don't know.
But don't do like AEW, put like 20 shows on here, and then 15 out of 20 is like 4-on-4s.
Oh my gosh, right? Oh, yeah, thankfully we don't have that. We have a 4-way match, but not like a 4-way tag team match, So we'll see about that. So yeah, and one other thing, non-Impact related, but it's for AEW. It's apparently tomorrow, Sting has an announcement for the fans.
That he's finally going to go away forever.
Yeah, it's heavily rumored that he will be announcing his retirement, which is funny because he already kind of said it early this year. He had said that this year was going to be his last year wrestling, like back in like February. So it wasn't really a surprise, but you already know they've got some kind of thing booked where he's going to have some final match for him. He's not going to just retire.
Please, dear God, do not let it be Ric Flair.
Look, it's not going to be Ric Flair. It's not going to be Ric Flair.
Hey, what are the chances it might be Steamboat?
Nah, I don't think Steamboat wants to wrestle, But you're right. He did show up, though, and did some stuff. So maybe, and then under that circumstance, it might work. Maybe, but that would be it then. And if that match happens, do you think it happens at Full Gear in November?
Unfortunately, because what's one more? In Tony Khan's logic, what's one more match?
I know, right? Oh my gosh! Oh boy! Well,
Doc, who you got for your heat of the week?
Oh my gosh! I'm just trying. Let's see. Did you watch Raw by any chance yesterday?
I saw some of the highlights. I saw Shinsuke, out there doing Shinsuke things, and Cody. Basically, they're just playing tag team roulette with main event Jey Uso.
What about the Gunther Jonah? I mean, Jonah is his name. Bronson Reed match.
No, I didn't. I didn't catch any.
Is
that your heat of the week?
Very good match. Yeah, seeing that they're continuing with good feuds, good matches, with Gunther, And these guys had already fought before, when he was Jonah Rock and Walter, and they had a great match back then when they were. It's kind of saying big boys because Gunther's all slimmed up now, but when they were before, they were slapping each other, killing each other with these chops and hits. But another really good match, So I'm just happy that the Intercontinental title with Gunther is still being pushed, and they want to continue to see that because right now the U.S. title stagnant. Except for, did you see Logan Paul called out Rey Mysterio? So after his boxing fight, completely unrelated, on Saturday, he called out Rey Mysterio for a U.S. title shot. I'm not going to lie.
I'm fine with putting the U.S. title around Logan Paul. Let's say, and I'm pretty sure Endeavor probably had some thought of input into it.
I think it makes sense perfectly because the entire time he would have the champion, he would have the belt on his podcast. People would be like, "What's that?" And it's good. It's great cross promotion. Yep. Even if you don't like the guy, he's great heel. So, but yeah, for me, just to put that there, keep pushing that title, Intercontinental title with Gunther. That's who I'd have to go with.
As far as my heat of the week is actually the whole last Tuesday night. Just two brands going at it, putting on clinics, and of course you got these fans who are just like these purebred loyalists talking about NXT they had Taker, Cena, they still couldn't even hit a million views but then they also beat AEW. Listen, Tuesday night, two promotions. Listen, I was like, that's who my heat of the week was. Those two guys getting together and just bringing out the competition between both shows. That's my heat of the week.
I like it. It's a good one. Yeah, and we were here talking to you guys all about that, and that was a fun time. That was a fun time right there. So, everyone talks about like with Edge, just let Adam Copeland just watch the wrestling. You like the wrestling? You like this match? You want to see it? Watch it. But a good war is a good thing. It's always good. Competition is always a good thing.
Yep.
But also, before we go, we just also have to talk about them Lions, baby. Woo!
Hey, listen, we're gonna take care of Baltimore, okay? And all you guys out there bragging about Baltimore right now, y'all beat a Houston team that just started learning how to play football again. Y'all beat a Browns team that didn't have Watson. And then y'all lost to an Indianapolis team, and y'all barely beat a Joe Burrow team. I'll say Joe Burrow was hurt, so let's tone it down. Let's I'll say the big, we did get the important victory from on the road against Tampa against a good solid defense. I'll take it any day of the week. So all I gotta say is Lions won a game.
Absolutely. And you're talking about the Ravens. I'm cheering, but unfortunately, I'm not because I have Lamar Jackson. I have the Ravens defense. So this is why I hate doing fantasy because I like my team and I'm not going to be cheering. Like Lamar, just throw a few long passes and then don't score. Don't score, but just give me a lot of long bombs that don't score. I just get that, please, because I want the Lions to win, but I need Lamar because Anthony Richardson was my backup, and now he's out this season, so that's a whole thing. So come on. But, hey, so Chad Smith said on here, before we go, Cheeks of the Week on NXT right now. Oh, Lord. Do we not have NXT up? Sauce, you usually do.
I'll be honest with you, I forgot.
Oh, no. It's okay. I'm sure, there's a thing called the internet. I'm pretty sure we can figure out who we're talking about. When I'm sure
Mr. Smith will bless us in our personal group chat, and he'll bless us with what we need to see.
Yeah, Nikita Lyons, Gigi Dolan. I mean, no one's sky blue though, but come on. But it looks like we do have CBM with a bold prediction for Sunday. Lions 37, Ravens 36. That's good for me, baby. I'll take it.
Let's scratch those off by 10. 27, 26 is more realistic.
And I'll still take it. I'll take that in a second. But, hey, it's good. It's going to be all good. But thank you guys for, of course, being with us, chatting with us when it comes to Impact Wrestling. We'll, of course, be chatting with you some more and setting up for the next couple shows for next week. I will let you know Halloween night, we're actually not going to be doing a show on Halloween night. So, because the kids want to give out candy and all this stuff, I thought about doing a live show, but then I was like, I didn't want to scare the kids. So, but next week we definitely will be having a show talking about wrestling, this wrestling, any upcoming wrestling coming up and stuff like that. And of course, on November 7th, I'll be talking about this every time. November 7th, Tuesday, will be our video game wrestling podcast, where we're going to have our panel of experts, our experts on yours, mine, anybody that wants to join in the chat, favorite games, disappointments, weird ass wrestling games, everything. We're going to talk about it all. So,
spoiler alert: No Mercy sucks in 2020.
You should have a shirt or a sign in the back just says "No Mercy sucks." You know how they do on the football on the ESPN when the guy with the whiteboard, like he just that'd be great. That right there, book it. But as for me, as for Sauce, we're gonna head out of here. Dr. Love here and Sauce Bronson.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, two things. One, if y'all see a red debit card around the downriver of Metro Detroit, just mail that back to me, please, because I don't know what my debit card is. So if y'all can just mail it, overnight that to me, or carry a pigeon, that's fine. Remember, it's a red Bank of America debit card. So if y'all find one of them laying on the street, just mail it back to me. That'll be fine. And then on the final note, y'all be happy, be safe, be healthy, but most importantly, be good.